The California bill is unique because it requires an affirmative, conscious, and voluntary agreement before students have sex. The legislation also says a lack of resistance or silence cannot be interpreted as a yes.
New year, new laws. Welcome back to Midpoint. Legislators were busy in 2014 putting new laws on the books, including the yes means yes standard for college students in California. Adam Thompson has over 25 years of courtroom and trial experience. Adam joins us live. Hi, Adam.
How you doing? Great to be back. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you, sir. Time now for attorneys really to read up on all these new laws, and let's start with yes means yes. How will this play out in court? Are we still looking at two people telling different accounts of the same event?
It's going to be the same thing, but it will narrow the focus in some of these kind of cases, because if it's a situation where a girl's passed out and she's drunk, say at a party, if logical or meaningful way. So in those cases, it's really going to flip the burden a little bit on the defendant going down that route. So yes means yes is probably a good thing, but it's still going to be a he said, she said once you get to court.
Yeah, is it a far stretch to expect sexual consent contracts to come into play?
It's so funny you just said that, because I was having this conversation earlier that if the law is yes means yes, that means the person must be so conscious and aware of what they're agreeing to do, then why not just really seal the deal and pull out a quick form that says, hey, I agree, you agree, we both signed it, there's no issues, done, over. There can never be a rape case then under those circumstances, because we got a contract signed right before us, and that's it, end of story.
All right, Adam, let's get to another one in California. Undocumented immigrants now able to apply for a driver's license. In fact, the Motor Vehicles Department has hired 900 additional staffers. They've added Saturday hours at field offices across the state to handle an estimated 1.4 million applications for appointments that must be booked in advance online. How far do you see this? Do you see it maybe as a step towards amnesty?
It absolutely seems to be a step in that direction, because once you register them in this manner, you now have them documented with a card that's going to tell you at least where they reside, basic information about them. It should at least have a date of birth, and then they'll be able to track them better. But what's curious about this is all the arguments about, oh, you can't get people to come down and do voter registration cards. Oh, it's too difficult. Oh, there's all these different arguments about related areas, but yet we're going to have illegals who aren't even really here and should be here going to be able to apply now for a card they could use to now legally drive if they get pulled over in California. This is a little mind-boggling to me. A lot of this doesn't make sense, but that's going to be the law. It seems to point towards amnesty to me.
Busy time at the DMV in California. Let's go across country. New York State has banned fracking, citing the potential risk to public health. Now, in Pennsylvania, where shale gas drilling has boomed, the Democratic governor there, Tom Wolf, has stated he wants to have his cake and eat it too, making it clear he doesn't want to enforce a ban like New York did. Wolf believes that by taxing the industry, vital support for state infrastructure can be generated. Do you believe we're going to see some sort of divide on the issue based on how each state benefits individually?
Absolutely. There's a lot of states that are very environmentally strong, and they're going to, play to that contingency. There's going to be, the oil and gas producing companies that control a lot of the economy in certain states, and those sections are going to play to that. What's going to be interesting is you're going to see a lot of people who have private property, and the companies that want to go to those private properties and frack and hopefully find gas or oil will probably bring what's called takings lawsuits. Kind of not, when you don't hear it a lot, it's like eminent domain, but that's where if the government's going to take your property and you have an asset on it that you could pull out or bring out or use, then they have to compensate you for it. Doesn't happen a lot, very seldomly used, and not successful all the time, but you will see these kind of lawsuits popping up. You heard me say it to you first on Midpoint today.
All right, one we didn't get to, I want to quickly touch on it, Adam. Piercing and tattoos. You can't do that to your animal anymore in New York State. That was another one of the new laws.
I think it's ridiculous people want to even bring in a pet to tattoo. I'm going to just leave it on this point. Imagine most people are bringing in their dogs to do it. And what's the most popular tattoo humans get? Something about their mom, their mother. Imagine if you're going to do the same thing on a dog, what word that would be. You'd be tattooing on the dog.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Crimea celebrates the start of its first year as part of Russia. How Vladimir Putin manages to keep a record high approval rating.